It was the kind of house that drew you in with its dilapidated charm, a forgotten relic at the end of Cedar Lane, shrouded in overgrown ivy and shadowed by looming oaks. Abigail, a historian fascinated by abandoned places, had stumbled upon it one chilly evening in autumn. Local legends spoke of its first owner, Eliza Hawthorne, who vanished without a trace in 1807. One had ever dared to live there after her disappearance. Curiosity gnawed at Abigail as she stood at the gate, the rusted iron groaning in protest. As she pushed it open, the air was thick with silence, the kind that presses against your chest. As she stepped onto the property, the ground beneath her feet seemed to pulse, as though the earth itself remembered the house's dark past. Inside, the house was a museum of decay. Dust-covered furniture stood frozen in time, chairs that hadn't been sat in for decades, a grand piano with keys yellowed by age. Abigail's heart raced, but she couldn't turn back now. She had to know what happened to Eliza. In the parlor, a large portrait of Eliza hung above the fireplace. Her eyes seemed to follow Abigail, a faint sadness in them, almost as though the woman knew something Abigail did not. The air grew colder as she approached it, her breath visible in the sudden chill. She reached out a trembling hand to touch the painting's frame, but as her fingers brushed against it, a sharp crack echoed through the room. The lights flickered, then went out. Suddenly, the heavy silence was shattered by a soft whisper, her name, Abigail. The voice was distant but clear, calling from the upstairs. A cold dread crawled up her spine, but against her better judgment, she ascended the stair, each step creaking under her weight. At the top, the hallway stretched into darkness, the doors of the bedrooms slightly ajar. A cold gust of air seemed to push her forward, nudging her toward the first door on the right. Inside, the room was empty, save for an old rocking chair in the center, its back gently swaying, as if someone had just risen from it. The floorboards groaned as though heavy had just moved. Then she saw it. A diary, lying open on the floor beside the chair, its pages yellowed with age. She knelt to read the words. Her fingers I hear them. At night. They come for me. They want my soul. Can feel them inside the walls. The temperature dropped even further, and the whispering started again. Louder now. Abigail. This time, the voice was unmistakably close. Just behind her. She spun around, but there was no one there. The walls began to shake, and Abigail stumbled, her hand brushing against the wall. She screamed as the floor beneath her cracked open, revealing a dark pit. Hands cold, skeletal hands reached out from the darkness, pulling at her legs. In that moment, Abigail realized too late. Eliza was still here, in the walls, in the house, waiting for someone else to take her place. The hands dragged her into the dark, and the house fell silent once more. No one would ever come to Cedar Lane.